Non-Americans, what misconception did you have about America that you learned was wrong upon visiting/moving to America? My German friends wanted to shoot all my guns. When I told them I didn't have any, they looked at me like I was lying. I thought you Americans ate pizza every Friday. That's why I wanted to go to the USA in the first place. I thought sheriffs aren't real for some reason, at least not anymore. I thought people would say yeehaw a lot more. I didn't realize those red cups were actually real and used by everyone in the US at parties. I thought it was just like a movie thing. My friend's mom went to the US and brought us back a stack while we were at university. We felt like we were in a teen film. We even washed them up again so when we were done we could use them again. This sounds stupid. I knew America was big, but when I thought I could drive from New York to Florida pretty easily, I was so wrong. I just didn't quite register how bloody far away everything is. And I was wrong when I thought alligators just lived in the Everglades. Those frickers are everywhere in Florida. I got an admit to a school in Texas. I was worried about the gunslinging cowboys and random shootouts everywhere. 4 years in and I am yet to see any of those guys here. I did get to play with guns in a gun range last year though. I thought Canadian and American accents were the same. It surprised me every time someone asked me if I was Canadian after just speaking a few sentences. I thought that WrestleMania was a huge deal for Americans. I was hoping that it would be like a national holiday. WrestleMania and NASA are my two favorite things about America, so this was very sad for me. Not really a misconception, but I was pretty young when I moved to the US from mainland Europe. My parents mentioned that the US was at war with Iraq. This was in 2003. And I wondered to myself why we were moving to a war zone. I thought that there would be air raids and bombings all the time. I was stunned and fascinated by different time zones in the same country. Majority of people in the US are a fat, racist, selfish motherfricker. Couldn't be more wrong. Everyone was very nice and educated and kind to me. Unfortunately, the worst people get the most attention inside and outside of the US. There are 50 states and not 52. Almost everyone who isn't American that I know thinks that at some point that there are 52 states. I still don't know why. I suspect that Hawaii and Alaska might have been involved. Comment deleted by user. I know a guy that moved to the States from the Philippines during the winter. It's never cold in the Philippines, so he thought the US was so rich we had air conditioning outside. What surprised me is the degree Americans identify with the state they are from and how much they might poop talk another state. I kind of thought the states would be, more united. That the southern accent is real and not just made up for TV. I'm from America, but I know a lot of people from outside America that think yellow school buses are just for movies. No, we actually use those giant blocks of cheese. As an American, it's refreshing to read nice things about your country, so thank you. People from other countries seem to think we all agree with our government and are all war hungry. Not the case at all. I moved to the US from South Africa when I was 5. I was nervous to go to the US because I thought it was like the Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons. Was afraid that a piano would fall on me from the sky. No falling pianos, fear not. I thought cheerleading teams and competitions weren't real. I thought it was something fictional I saw in Hollywood movies. Turns out they were real. They're also one of the more dangerous sports. Cheerleading is no joke. Not me, but a Chinese friend of mine always thought squirrels were the size of cats, and was really disappointed when she found out they were tiny. I thought you guys only ate junk food. When I arrived in my host family, I discovered that their meals were healthier than the ones my parents made. The mom was stay at home, so she had time to cook and had plenty of healthy menus, but I was surprised by how perfectly healthy and balanced dinner was. My Russian friend was disappointed that there weren't alligators everywhere. I thought that the yellow sauce that is traditionally drawn on hot dogs together with red sauce, ketchup, was mayonnaise. You monster. The casino part of Las Vegas wasn't a whole city, it was just one really long road. Washington, D.C. was in the state of Washington. I know Americans living here who think that ice cream trucks were a thing from the 70s and no longer existed. Was very surprised that they actually do. One comes around our new house every other day. This thread's a lot more fun if you sort by controversial. I always thought gun deaths in the States were through the roof. I was scared of going because I thought I'd be killed by looking at someone the wrong way. Turns out, after a quick look, that gun deaths are astoundingly low compared to the amount of guns and population. All Americans are loud, pushy people. It took a holiday to New York and Washington and realized it's only the tourists that there would be a section for just buying guns in any store. I don't know why. I think I have been seeing some things and heard that they were common and easy to buy. I just expected them to be available in stores. Never saw one in Vegas, Phoenix, or Anaheim. From reading this thread, I've seen these responses the most. Everyone underestimates the size of the US. Everyone thinks we are rude, but quite the opposite. LA is not paved with gold. New Yorkers are nice. We have really good food. Guns are not carried around by everyone. Hardly anyone says yee-haw, but quite a few say y'all. Our beer is not all watered down, and came to a conclusion. The media is evil. They paint a very different picture of the United States than what it is in reality.